It's wrong to apply oil on burns. This and many other things we saw in the last episode of this show on our discussion on burns. Going forward, I want to talk about a very common kind of burns called mouth burns. You don't want to go anywhere because I'll be right back. Mouth burns are fairly common and usually involve the mouth, the palate, and the other sensitive and delicate tissues of the mouth. The first aid for mouth burns is usually very straightforward. The first thing to do is to remove the offending agent because the degree of the burn is a function of the duration and then how hot or cold that agent is. So once you get it out of your mouth, then you can do a few other things which we call local treatments. You can get an analgesic mouthwash and just rinse your mouth with it. But even before you get an analgesic mouthwash, you can do a saline mouth rinse. So you add a little bit of salt to water and use it and gargle in the mouth. The other thing you can also do is an antibacterial mouthwash because of the infection. Now, if all these are done, most likely the mouth burn will heal by itself. When we'll come back, we'll continue our discussion by looking at don'ts and safety tips for burns generally. Don't go anywhere because I'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with me on today's episode of My Health Today. We'll continue our discussion on burns. Like we said from the beginning of the show, don't apply oil or butter on the burn. The skin has tiny pores. Now what this does is when you apply oil, this covers those pores and then that cooling effect, which will also help to soothe and relieve the burn, doesn't happen again because of the oil. Butter does the same thing. So when there is a burn, don't apply oil, don't apply butter. The other common thing that people usually do about burns is using chemicals. So for whatever case of burns, you don't need to use chemicals. Also, don't use ice. Even if it is hot water burn, don't use ice. Ice can also cause burns, so you're not advised to put ice on burns. Don't break blisters. Second degree burns usually present with blisters. You see a swelling and then that has water inside. If you break the blisters at home, because the skin is a raw surface and is exposed, the chances of infection are higher. Let me share with you a few important safety tips you may need to observe, either at home or in the office, to prevent burns. At home, you need to keep children away from the kitchen, especially when you're cooking. You also will need to put a fire extinguisher somewhere close by in the kitchen. It's important you go and fill your gas cylinders at standard recommended places. Other things such as lighters, matches, you must make sure that you lock them up safely. If you work with chemicals, you must wear gloves, wear goggles, especially for the eyes. Make sure you have a fire escape plan, whether at home or in the office. It's very, very important to practice these things at least once a month. In case there's a fire, what do we do? Where do we assemble? So once an incident like that happens, they know the right place to come, the right place to assemble, the right exit to use, and all of that. Thank you for staying with me. I'll be right back after the short break. Thank you for staying with me on our discussion about burns. Don't apply oil, don't break blisters, don't put ice, don't use chemicals on burns. Remember, until what you know becomes what you do, you don't know anything. Practice what you've learned today, because one day you may just be the difference between life and death. Leave a comment at the bottom of the page, send me a message, follow us on our various social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Until I come your way again, I remain yours, Dr. J.